All right, ski erg tutorial. We are going to hopefully get you a little bit more efficient on this thing. Right, so we'll talk about mechanics, we'll talk about the setup before we get into the actual movement itself, and then maybe some pointers on how you can become more efficient at this thing. So first, we'll just dive right into it. Quickly, with the feet, probably the most important thing. Now that we have the correct body position, we'll just set us up properly for the work. And then with this, I'm thinking about being at least a couple feet away from this flywheel or this base, which is going to put me towards the back of the board. For some of you taller athletes or longer athletes, you can get all the way to the back, heels at the back of the board. But everybody should have some room from their body in the machine. And then with the handles, there's a little flat portion of this. We want that little lip to sit against the base of the hand towards the wrist. It gives us a little bit of leverage and creates a little bit more support as we go through it. But once the feet are set, the hands are set, now we're ready to go into our mechanics. And so just like we talked about in our row tutorial, there's really 3 phases to it. And if we think about that, it gives us a better idea of what's actually happening as we go through it. So the setup, or really the kind of the starting position, we reset to this, the catch every time. Number 2 would be the drive, which is actually the work output. And then we have a recovery portion to get us back to that reset point. So I'm going to go through a few to show you what that looks like. And that's first little portion of the rep's going to be the toughest. Because you'll have the most tension at that. And that's where we really want to make sure that we're utilizing the body in the right way to maximize this. And the MedBall Slam is a great tool because it's got a lot of transfer into what this actually is and what it looks like, is making sure that we're utilizing the body, and especially that mid-body, the core. So I want to create a lot of tension when I get started. So if you'll see, when I get into this, I'm locking in the shoulders. I kind of hunker down on the belly a little bit, so I'm creating no slack in the system before I go into that. And that's one thing I see with a lot of beginners, is that they're pretty loose, and it makes it a lot harder because the hands are now delayed. They're not getting a whole lot of core and lower half involved with the exercise. But yeah, key number 1, create a lot of tension, especially at the mid-body. And then from there, when I go into my hinge, I'm shooting my hips back. My weight is actually going to kind of help pull or give me some leverage to pull the handles. And then I'm aiming to take those hands past the pockets. And again, what that'll look like, so nice and tight, throw the hips back. First couple strokes may look a little different, a little slower, but then we kind of get into a rhythm. And knowing that recovery portion, where I'm standing back up, I'm reversing the same way, and I'm slowing down just a little bit to set myself up in the proper position before I go again into the drive. Okay, so it should be a very rhythmic thing going through a cycle there. And again, yeah, it's just important to know that we're not relying on the arms, just like in the row. It's a very fast way to fatigue if we're thinking it's all arms as we go through this. So use that lower half and see how it does for you.